Party, despite all the naysayers from the Democratic left, and those people are nuts. They are crazy.
Get to know him. Congressman Byron, Florida governor candidate, at the Republican Liberty Breakfast in Miami, Florida, giving a speech this past weekend. This is Alexander News Show. Watch this.
Their lives, their sacred treasure, their honor, trying to establish independence from the British Crown when the Declaration was written. It is those same ideals that binds our party today. The Republican Party, despite all the naysayers from the Democratic left, and those people are nuts. They are crazy. But the basis of our party, how we were founded, was for one simple principle, and that was the abolishment of slavery. That is the genesis of our party. And so I want everybody to remember, look, campaigns, legislative issues, you'll have those disagreements. That stuff happens. I will tell you, and I'll probably share a story or two, of how many times there are disagreements within parties. But we have to remember one thing, that the Republican Party, we are the vehicle that stands for human flourishing and liberty in the United States. And have your disagreements, it's all good. But we must be united on the mission at all times. People didn't just retire to Florida. They chose Florida. As a kid, 17, the reason I came to Florida was simply to go to college. I went to FAMU. On the highest of seven hills. On the highest of seven hills in Tallahassee. That's where I first went to college. And when I was, look, it's college. Okay. It's college. My mom is one of the toughest ladies you can meet. Jamaican. Wagwan, I see you there. My mom is Jamaican. My grandparents came to the United States from Jamaica. My mother was born in New York. I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn.
And my mom is tough, man. No excuses. And, she's a single mom, so she had to be mom and dad. And the way my mother decided to be mom and dad is that it was, Mommy, I love you. It was in your face, no excuses, day in, day out. Here's the expectations. And as a young man, as a young kid, you would rebel. But with no disrespect to any of the mamas in the crowd, but Jamaican moms are special. Like, there is no rebellion with a Jamaican mom, I'll just tell you. So when I got to college, 2,000 miles away, I'm on my own for the first time in my life. Yeah, I rebelled. I was off doing my own thing. And I made a lot of mistakes all those early years in college. I made a lot of mistakes. A lot of things that I wish I didn't end up doing. Decisions that could have really altered my life. But it's really by the grace of God that I'm standing before you right now.
Amen.
It's purely by the grace of God, not by me. See, I have 3 sons now. My oldest is 21 years old. He just graduated college. He actually moved to New York to start his career. My middle son is 17 years old, just graduated high school, and he's going to Missouri to play Division II basketball. He learned from me. So I'm really proud of him. My youngest son is 14. He is going into the 8th grade, and everything is music and girls. And so as a dad, I'm like, we can be honest about these things. As a dad, share a quick thing with you. So as a dad, when I found out that my sons liked girls, every one, I'm like, when I found out the oldest one had a girlfriend he shouldn't have had, and the parents were not really happy that they were dating, whatever that is, at that time. And I know the parents are great people, great friends of my wife and I, but they weren't happy because that was their daughter, their oldest daughter, and so first child, and that was their viewpoint on relationships. And so I find out that my son is like talking to her every night, and sitting next to her, in youth group and all the stuff that you do when you're in middle school. And so I had to get into the parent meeting, and the parent meeting was, she's not allowed to date. And I'm sitting there, and my son is just like, what is happening? And to be honest, as a dad, I'm kind of like, what is happening? So, but then you have to do the right thing as a parent. Son, you're wrong. You can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Internally, as a dad, I'm like, yes. My second son, coming up, and he, this one is 6'3", about 165 today. He thinks he's smooth. Dad, They think they're smooth. And you have to remind them, son, you got it from me. Like it's in the genes, baby. That's where it came from. It's not you, it's me. But anyway, so found out, he had a girlfriend, and I'm like, two down, one to go. The youngest, he's the one that, he's a hybrid of me and my wife. So he's me and he's my wife, Erica, all at the same time. The oldest is like me. My middle one is like my wife. This one, I'm sitting in the car with him, and he goes, hey, Dad. I go, yeah, what's going on, son? He goes, Dad, so there's this girl I like. Oh, really? Yes. 3 for 3. Yeah, we're good. American success story. So when I tell you that when I came to the state at 17 and, I had nothing. And there was a time period early in my life, 18, 19, 20, that I made decisions that were just not smart. And I had to build back from all those decisions. And I was a youth leader in my church for 12 years. Most people don't know this. For 12 years, I was a youth leader in my church. And when we would counsel these teenagers, trying to help them develop themselves, really center themselves spiritually and emotionally to prepare themselves for the challenges of life, the biggest thing we will always tell them is, if you make up, here's what we do. If you mess up, you make up, but you never give up. And we would say it time and time again in our youth group to these kids. Like, nobody's perfect. Life is not perfect. If you mess up, you make up, and you never give up. And so in this journey in politics the last 15 years, because it really started back in 2009 for me, longer than that now. In this journey, I still remembered my mistakes at 18 and 20. Never forgot them. Always there in the back of my mind. But I remembered the things that we would tell our teenagers. If you mess up, you make up, and you never give up. And so what I would always tell young people in the group is, you never arrive at a bad decision. It is a series of decisions that get you to that decision. So at 21 years, we are going to maintain that status here in Florida, and we're going to make it better than it's ever been. We're going to do that for the future of our state. In my career was in banking, insurance, and financial services. My first job was as a credit analyst. As a credit analyst, you have a responsibility of walking into any business that wants to borrow money and understanding the dynamics of that business. So a lot of times when I talk with business owners today, and they're telling me about their business, what I'm really doing is I'm dissecting their balance sheet in my mind, because I've underwritten just about any type of business you can think about. I believe the goal of the next governor is now to prepare our state to continue to diversify our economy. What does that mean? In Florida, we have every ability to be the financial capital of the world. No more Chicago. No more New York. We're done. Their cities can still exist, you can go visit. But their policies are stupid. They just make no sense. Like, here's a funny thing. Growing up as a kid in the inner city of Brooklyn, what I know inherently from my upbringing, I didn't have to read it in a political philosophy book. I didn't have to read somebody's white paper. I didn't have to go look at polling to see where people were. Growing up as a kid in the inner city, we knew that if the police were patrolling the streets and upholding the law, our communities were safer. And we knew that if your communities were safer, it was easier as a kid to go to school and not think about being harmed trying to get to school. You knew that if you could get to school safely, it was one less thing on your mind so you could be focused on your education. We know that for small business owners, safe communities actually build better economies. Because you have more people who are in the business of business, whether that's personal, small business, or corporate, as opposed to people having to think about security issues before they even get to business. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy of need, the bottom is safety and shelter. That is human psychology. It will never change. So the reason why Florida has really been the model for other states is because we have prioritized public safety. We have made sure our cities are safe and our streets are safe. So when you look at Chicago and you look at New York and you see how their politicians are dumb and do not prioritize simple things like safety, these business owners are looking around, they're saying, you know what? I gotta get out. And we are gonna provide them a place to land here in Florida. Make sure we're optimizing synergistically with county and local government about all the roadways that need to be completed in the state. One of the things that we have not done in Florida that we need to do in Florida is we have to start really embracing AI and technology and how we move people through transportation systems. So there is technology out there to make these lighting systems better, and we're going to embrace that in Florida. But none of those speed trap cameras, I hate those freaking things. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Get rid of them.
If you're in local government and you were looking at that contract, sorry, Mayor, I just stepped. I don't know what you're doing at Homestead, but you're good.
We got one.
Oh. Just tell me where the intersection is, Mayor. That's all I need to know. We have everything in our disposal to continue to be a great state. And I know I kind of took a segue. I talked a little bit more personal than I do. But we have everything within us to continue to be the best state in the country. It's just about the vision and the focus to accomplish these things, to accomplish them for our future children, to make sure that we tackle insurance and affordability and all those things that do, yes, make it a little bit challenging. But these are first world challenges to have. These are great challenges to have. And these are wonderful challenges to be able to engage in because everybody's choosing Florida. I used to say off and on that we were just a retirement state, but we're not anymore. I was in Tampa last night for the Turning Point Conference. And there was a young black kid, I guess went to Turning Point because he heard I was going to be there. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but I guess he got interviewed by the reporter. So we go, and I read it, and it touched me, not because of me. Not me. It touched me because what I truly believe in this campaign is that the demographic and race lines that have been plaguing our politics for far too long are going to come to an end in this campaign. We cannot allow, as free people, as the best country in the world, we cannot allow our politics to continue to be divided over race in America.
I agree.
If you're black and conservative, say it. If you're Venezuelan and you love Trump, say so. I already know what Cubans think. I already know what I don't even need to go down. I already know that. Well, they love that. They love that. But guys, if we're going to keep this precious experiment of self-governance going, and this is a precious experiment, we are unique on the fabric of the planet. Yes, American exceptionalism is real. We are an exceptional nation. And the thing that would stop us in our tracks from choosing a fool like Mamdani,
oh my
God,
because the policies are foolish, so I call him a fool.
Communist.
If we are going to not go down the line that too many societies have gone down, where everybody believes that you have to take from somebody else in order to get ahead, then that's how our nation falls. So I think if the time has come for these, in my view, gross racial divisions in politics to come to an end. And we can start that today. And what it's about is being about ideals that matter for the future, about policy that helps people get ahead, about making sure that our young kids are educated, and they master math and reading and writing. Because I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your color is. You could be a poor black kid, poor white kid, poor Cuban kid, poor Venezuelan kid, poor Puerto Rican kid, doesn't matter. If your math skills are low and your reading skills are low, it's going to be hell to get ahead economically. So we got to make sure everybody is thriving. Everybody's succeeding. And listen, you can't guarantee outcomes. You cannot do that. That's what the left tries to do. And they fail every single time. You cannot guarantee outcomes. But what you can do is make sure that your public policy in your state supports people being able to flourish and succeed. In Florida, we have been doing that for a long time. And as your next governor, we will continue to do that, and we're going to take it to a whole nother level. Miami, thank you so much for being here.